What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the 101 series presented by Fandoms Anonymous. Man, we have been having a great time with the 101 series. We've been talking to some amazing people from all over the United States who do amazing things. But today we're reaching on down to my hometown, Mobile, Alabama. I'm talking with my brother today, Mr. DeAndre, a.k.a. Eterniti Everlasting. What's going on, man?
I'm good, man. How about you?
Good. Can't complain. Eterniti is a.k.a. DeAndre, whichever way you want to flip it. He is a spoken word artist, and he does what he does, and he does it well all over the country, all over the southeastern United States. So, man, tell us how you got into spoken word.
Spoken word, I mean, is an extension of hip hop. I've always had a love for music. I do both of them. It's something that I turn to basically keep myself out of trouble. Poetry and just writing in general helps me to get anything out that people may find difficult to do so. So they find other ways to cope. Well, writing is like my drug. Writing is what helps me be able to get through rough days, help me get through tough times, and it's just something that I've found that I could do that helped me out and helped me get through some of the toughest situations in my life. So that's where it all stems from.
So how long have you been writing?
I literally started writing when I was around 11. I used to write short stories and little poems and things like that in elementary school. I got serious about it after I lost my grandfather back in '97.
Right.
And that was really the catalyst that jump-started this whole me being who I am. You know, even with like my stage name, that's something that I've had for a very, very long time. It's always stuck. Yeah.
Now, I used to write, and I write from time to time. It depends on, I'm not a consistent writer. I'm a writer when I got something going on in my life and I want to put it on paper. And, it's something that, like you said, it helps you. It can help you heal. It can help you release. So that's the type of writer I am when it comes to writing poetry. Now, I've never gone out and performed anything. I've thought about it, but I've always been that type of writer. Like if I got a serious life situation going on, I can put some pen to the paper. Like you said, when your grandfather died, for me it was when my mother passed, and I did a lot of writing. Now, I was doing some writing before that, little high school girls writing a little poem here and there. But other than that, that's my catalyst when it comes to writing. If something happens or if I'm going through a period of time, that's my way of expressing to my own self. Now, it doesn't necessarily share it. Sometimes I might share it on social media or share a poem here and there. But other than that, I kind of keep it grounded, and it's something that helps me. So I know you do a lot of spoken word. You go to a lot of different events and clubs, and you're coincide with a lot of different organizations. How did you feel your first time on stage?
Nervous. I think that everybody's first initial feeling, it's a bundle of nerves. And when I say nervous, I don't necessarily mean like afraid. It's nervousness from excitement. It can be nervousness from expression. For me personally, it's been a while since the first time I ever actually stepped on the stage. But I remember being really, really excited. I remember just going, please don't let me mess this up. Please don't let me mess this up. Please don't let me mess this up. Because, first impression is the lasting impression. And right. I was 13 when I first stepped on the stage. And, I went out there with a group of guys we were all good friends. I just remember rehearsing for like months for this talent show. And we felt like celebrities when we got off that stage. We became the cool kids to be around. So that was always fun.
Now, what would you say to the person out there who is a writer, whether they're doing short stories, whether they're doing poetry, and they're afraid to share it? Now, like I said, write, and they have a book full of poems, they have a book full of short stories, they have a book full of just their thoughts on paper. What would you tell that person who wants to share something on social media or wants to share something on a poetry site or wants to step on the stage? What advice would you give them?
It's going to be different for all three of those scenarios that you gave me. Well, I'll say half and half. If you're doing print, the best thing that you can do is send it to somebody who you can either send it to a friend that you really, really trust that will give you an honest opinion, or you can submit it to a poet, somebody that is doing it, full time, or at least, doing it seriously enough to where they have a following, they've been doing it for a while, and it's about being respectful, so to speak, because, a lot of times people don't understand that when you're a traveling poet, I guess you could say, or a performing poet, your schedules are busy, so a lot of people might send stuff in, and they think you might not like it if you don't respond, things like that. So just try to give the people that whoever you submit it to, especially if you submit it to a quote-unquote professional poet, you just give them the time to actively respond. Now, on the flip side, if you're looking to actually perform it, it's kind of the same thing. I would work on it in front of somebody that I trust to get some feedback, go from there, do it in front of a small crowd, and eventually practice makes perfect, and get on an open mic stage. Because the thing about words, though, we want people to hear them, we want them to be expressed, and we have to learn to be comfortable with ourselves first, and then learn to be giving of ourselves to these other people. So start with somebody close to you, expand it to a little bit larger group, but still people that you trust, and then take the critiques well, take constructive criticism well, see what you can do to make it more presentable, and eventually get on an open mic stage and get it out there.
Most definitely. Now, I can use my own aggravating sibling as an example. Hey, Raina, how you doing? I can use her as an example. I have watched her write and write and write ever since I had eyes to know that that's what she was doing. And she just recently stepped out and got on the stage, and she enjoys it. She loves it, and I'm glad to see that she's actually stepping out on the stage. I mean, she had this old trophy on her shelf. I think she did a poetry contest. I don't know if she was in high school or she was in middle school, and she always used to look at that trophy. So to see her grow and develop, and I know she always writing, and I used to read some of her stuff, but she's always writing, and to see her get on the stage and see her finally step out and actually do something, I'm glad to, that's prime example of what you're explaining, that she was that person that was always writing and always putting something down on paper, but finally got the chance to step out on the stage, and I just watch her, and she's just continuing to grow and grow and grow and grow in that. So that's very exciting for me on my end. Now, here at Families Anonymous, we talk about all different types of subjects, but we mainly dabble in the art of the comics and the TV shows and the sci-fi. But like I said, we jump from left to right sometimes, and that's what this one-on-one series is about. So I know you're a comic fan. Who is your superhero? Who is your guy? Who is that one that when you go and looking online for T-shirts, you're like, I got to have that superhero's T-shirt?
I am an avid fan of the Punisher. I don't know, exactly what it was that attracted me to it so much, but to me it was almost like the regular guy who, was the man that, he was there to protect his family. It's cool to see all the superheroes with the superpowers and everything else, but this is just like straight up just a bad dude. And so, yeah, I've typically when I'm looking for shirts, if I'm going towards that direction, I always try to find new Punisher stuff. So I love the Punisher.
So what did you think of how they portrayed him in Daredevil Season 2? Did you get a chance to check that out?
You know what, man? I've been so haven't had the chance to. But I will be as soon as I slow down. I've been on a tour for literally like the last 3.5 months. So as soon as I get some downtime, like I've got 2 more dates, and as soon as I get some downtime, I definitely plan on binge watching this. Because I'm excited about it.
You got to go ahead and check out Daredevil season 2 because you don't want the Punisher series that's coming out at the end of this year to catch up on you. So they are doing a solo. He is getting his own series. There was so much adoration for how they did that character in Daredevil season 2 that they hurry up and green lighted a Punisher series. So that's coming out for the end of this year.
I'm definitely excited for that one.
Yeah, they died not too long ago. They released some set photos from the set of the Punisher. So that's that's something that's fast approaching. What else do you read? Were you a comic book reader as well?
I'll tell you the truth. Like, what really got me into comics in general, my uncle was a very, very avid comic book reader. I mean, up until he got married and had kids of his own, and he had trunks and trunks of comics. He was really into X-Men, so he got me into X-Men. And when I talk about comics, not even so much just superheroes, but I've always been a real big fan of the Boondock series.
Right.
So every book that they've ever released, as far as like actual books that they've had, I think it's maybe 3 or 4 of them out that are like collections. I own all of them.
Right.
And I just appreciate the fact that they tackle social issues from a comedic standpoint. So that's all. I've always been a fan of those as well.
So you're more like you're into comics, but you like more of the graphic novels as well, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Gotcha. Now, you just mentioned something. You said that you're on tour, and I've been following you, and I've been watching you travel all around. I see that you just not too long ago you were in Mississippi. So tell us about this tour.
The Unapologetically Me tour is the beautiful part about this. It's allowed me to combine my hip hop and my poetry. So we've done. It started out just trying to get my name back out there because I've got an album that's coming out a little bit later on this year. And so we started out just trying to get a couple of shows, man, and word got out that I was doing these shows, and it literally went from me booking 10 shows to me booking 22.
Wow.
And the response has been just amazing. I don't have any complaints. It's been a blessing to be able to get out there and do what I love to do and to watch people enjoy what I love to do. So.
Now, when everybody that we've talked to so far in this one-on-one series, there is one word that comes out, that stands out, I say this sentence every time I do a one-on-one series interview, and that word that stands out is consistency. Nobody ever says it. Some people have, but nobody. It's kind of like that thing that's sitting there. And from what I'm hearing from you and what I've heard from the others, you have to be consistent to do what it is that you want to do. What's your take on the word consistency?
It's vital. That's a great word to choose to explain or to define, what it is that we're trying to do. Because, see, the one thing about consistency in everything that we try to make happen is the simple fact that you have to be able to progress. If you don't consistently, like we said, practice, rehearsal, perfect practice makes, phenomenal performances. So you have to be consistent in everything that you do. You can't just be like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to pick up the pen now, and then 2 minutes later it's like, oh, well, I don't like that. No, I mean, you have to stick with it. And it's frustrating sometimes, but you're supposed to get frustrated because if you're not frustrated, you're not growing. And you have to force yourself to grow in anything that you really, really want to do. And I take great pride in being able to advance being able to grow and to be persistent in everything that it is that I really, really want to do. So, yeah.
And that's how I am over here with Fandoms Anonymous with my channel. Like I said, in less than 3 months I hit 10,000 views, and that came from me consistently putting out content for people that they want to see, putting out videos, reaching out to people in different levels. Right now we're at 11,000, so we're consistently growing. People are reaching out. People are hopping in the comment section. So it's a matter of consistency, like you said. It's vital. It's very vital. So this is the time towards the end of the interviews where I do allow people and give them definitely that opportunity to plug whatever it is that you're doing, so we can know where to follow you, what shows you're doing, where you're going next. So whatever it is that you have, I'm getting my words jumbled up. Let us know what we can find you at.
All right, cool. You can find everything on me at www.mreverlasting.com. It's just spell regular MR for the Mr. MREVERLASTING. You can find me at Eterniti on Facebook. And if you actually go to my website, it can link you to all of my social media. It'll link you to my SoundCloud, Reverb Nation, so on and so forth. Like I said, I've got 2 more stops on the Unapologetically Me tour. I'll be in Prattville, Alabama at the Neo Flow Experience next Friday night. And then I'll be in Tallahassee, Florida doing a live in-studio concert that will be featured on the Underground Railroad on a radio station. So that's going to be a little bit different, but it's definitely going to be hot. So if you're in Tallahassee, definitely tune in to the Underground Railroad, because it's going to be a great time. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or just want to, booking, anything like that, you can get all that information on the website too.
Most definitely, guys. Don't forget that Eterniti has an I at the end, not a Y. So if anybody is asking, there's an I at the end. Most definitely, man, and we're excited. Prattville, that's right up the street from me. I'm here in Montgomery, Alabama, so that's right up the. I normally go that way. That's where all the good restaurants and the lower tax bracket is. So, most definitely. But man, we do appreciate you for being on with us today. And guys, if you don't know who we are, we're Fandoms Anonymous. That's FANDOMSANONYMOUS. We're all over social media. We're here on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're growing our subscribers. We're growing our views each and every day. Go ahead and follow us on Facebook and the Facebook group. Come join our discussions about all kind of topics coming out. Also, don't forget to like the Facebook fan page as well. You can check the daily updates there. We're also on Twitter and Instagram. We're on Instagram at Fandoms_Anonymous17, and we're on Twitter at Anonymous_Fan17. We got a lot coming up today. Got some unboxing videos, some new episodes of Fandom Mail. We got the Fandom Talk episode coming out today. It's going to be massive. The 4 Horsemen will be on Fandom Talk today. So we're just doing a lot over here at Fandoms Anonymous. So don't forget to check out the content. Don't forget to check off all our social media links. You got anything that you want to leave with the people today, man?
Y'all stay hungry, stay blessed, and y'all have a great day.
Most definitely. Guys, as I always say, if there is anything else, thank you for watching, and have a good one.
Fandoms Anonymous.